meeting, our third session, which was organized as a COIL Collaboration project between the Stanislaus State University and Vladimir Vernadsky Tavrida National University. It's our third meeting. Yeah, and first of all, I'd like to ask all our Ukrainian professors and students to be careful and don't ignore the air raid sirens and signals. It's very important. This is today. Today is our third and last meeting in October. We will meet with you in 1 month, in the end of November, on November 28, as I remember. On our fourth meeting, we will listen to students about their results of cooperation. But just now, I'd like to invite our students, Mikita Budnik and Alika Avkhlidiani, as I know they are ready. They have a presentation, and after their presentation, I'd like to I have a small announcement about our collaboration. Please, Mikita and Alika, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello everyone. I have 1 second presentation. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, super. Hello, my name is Nick, and today with my colleague Alika, I will talk about the life of young people during the full Russian invasion of Ukraine. 8 months ago, by the way, today's day, the life of young people in Ukraine changed after the beginning of Russian large invasion, which destroyed millions of Ukrainians' lives. But despite this, young people from all over Ukraine have united to this against Russia and have created volunteer organization, local media, and university association. I was born in Donetsk. Donetsk is occupied by Russia since 2018. For more than 5 years, I lived in occupation, carefully shelling, and lack of freedom. When I was 19 years old, I decided to move to Ukraine, and Tavrida National University gave me this opportunity. I chose journalism because I care about people's life. It's an important profession that changes society for the better. Now I talk with my colleague Alika. The next word.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Alika, and the same as Nick, my hometown is Donetsk too. I was born there, and due to the jeopardizing circumstances of the Russian invasion at the age of 11, my family and I had to move to Kiev. As a child, I found it quite difficult to start my life from scratch in a new city, but I found support in my friends that I met in Kiev. In my teenage years, I started to participate in the feminist and LGBT movements in Ukraine. At Tavrida National University, Nick and I became friends and even created our project Vola. It translates to willpower. And if you remember, I've shown you in the presentation our project. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Alika. When the large-scale invasion began, I was in Donetsk. The week before, I came back to my family. We finally see them after a couple of years. I remember this morning of February 24 when Alika sent me a message that Kiev is under a Russian bombing attack. I could not believe it. Life has changed completely.
Yeah, it's a really triggering memory for me. I was crying and shaking while messaging Nick. I remember on the night of 21st of February, I couldn't fall asleep. I mean, the tension was already widespread in society. I have been woken up at 4 a.m. by the sound of Russian mile exploding in my neighborhood. I screamed at the top of my lungs for my mom to come in my room, And when she came, the only question I was able to ask was, "That is it?" She nodded quietly and said, "The war has started."
Starting from February of 2022, I spent more than 3 months in the occupied in Donetsk. I had to hide at home because Russian troops illegally conscripted Ukrainian men into the Russian army. It was the most dangerous period of my life, but I managed to evacuate from Latvia to Scotland, where I am currently safe now.
As you already know, months before the full Russian invasion, there was news all over the globe that Russia is planning to attack Ukraine. Considering that information, there already was tension and anxiety in society. My family and I drove by car from Kiev to the border with Poland. The queue on the wall was kilometers long. We stayed on the border in our car for 3 days. We did not have any access to hygiene products. There was almost no water and food left at the gas station, as all of the supply chain has been stopped because of the war. After crossing the border, I have been to Poland, then we left to Spain, afterwards to Netherlands, and right now I am in Germany. They say to be careful with wishes because they tend to come true. As a child, I always dreamed to travel a lot, but for sure not in the circumstances that forced me to move from one country to another.
Ukrainian youth were shocked at the beginning of Russian large-scale invasion in Ukraine. I remember my feeling when I just couldn't believe it. That is how scary it was. Many Ukrainians had to evacuate and became refuge in other countries. Many of them had to stay in Ukraine and continue to live there. Ukrainians here now and before the full Russian invasion are different people. In the first day, it was terrifying. Currently, in Ukraine, young people are creating networks of volunteer and public organizations like Red Cross, helping each other and victims of Russian shelling. Even during the war, we have time to political activism. Ukrainian is a democratic state where young people are trying to protect human rights even now, especially LGBT+. For example, we have a network of LGBT soldiers who are assisted by numerous online media and activists. It's cool because it always us to believe that we're not just fighting for our freedom, but for a security future for all people in society.
War is hard for every citizen, but especially tough for those who are facing sexism, homophobia, or racism and other forms of discrimination. As a woman and a young activist in the feminist movement, I want to shed the light on the topic of Ukrainian women in army. At the start of the full Russian invasion, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense provided information that there were 51,000 women in the army. It is approximately 23rd of the whole Ukrainian armed forces. Furthermore, that is the highest scale in Europe. Meanwhile, in the US, the amount of women in armed forces is 16%. This 23% was calculated without taking into account that most of the nurses and volunteers are women too. To be a Ukrainian woman is to face the challenges with a brave heart and an iron will.
I believe that it's now critical for both Ukrainian and international journalists to create materials or articles that will spread the light for people outside of Ukraine to understand and acknowledge the history of Russian-Ukrainian relations. Now, Russia actively used the tools of propaganda in the information war, which continues since 2018, after the annexion of Crimea and occupied of Donetsk region of Ukraine. This information war had a significant impact on the political situation in Ukraine and Europe. Russia has actively changed and manipulated historical facts and used the media to spread fakes and propaganda in Ukraine and European Union countries. Disinformation tactics of Russia has allowed change attitudes and personal opinions of officials in countries of Europe, and to influence political decisions and solution on the so-called conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Since 2018, many Western media, under the influence of Russian propaganda, have not objectively coverage the events of the annexion of Crimea and the occupation of Donbass. For example, many journalists mistakenly called the civilian war or internet conflict of Ukraine. These are the conclusions of powerful Russian propaganda. Since the beginning of Russian invasion on February 2022, much has changed. Ukraine has become a much stronger state with professional and expressive journalists and media. Since the first days of Russian invasion, the Ukrainian media united and covered the news around bloc, preparing reports and military zones and much more. Many journalists began to cooperate with Western media to help them understand the specifics of Russian-Ukrainian war and the fight Russian propaganda. For example, many American media and journalists came to Ukraine and began to produce high-quality audio and media stories about the war and covered other social problems in society. Ukrainian universities like Taurida National University began cooperating with the United States, which allowed us to combine efforts and improve the quality of education and understanding of the political situation in Ukraine and Europe. I believe that our cooperation is one of the key points for the victory of Ukraine. Like Ukrainian activists who now about to join political action, organized volunteer company or media company. Only by working together we can defeat Russian propaganda and break the information front line.
Consequently, nowadays, it's almost impossible not to be the victim of the Russian propaganda. That is why people both inside and outside of Ukraine should double check the information they're consuming. One of the first steps is to find the original link to the article. Is the author pro Russian and working for the sake of the Kremlin? If yes, then those sources must be blocked and isolated to stop the virus like spreading of Russian propaganda. Most of the Ukrainian mass media post their articles in both Ukrainian and English. Such examples can be found not only in the classic mass media like websites, but on the social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and much more. It is the worldwide responsibility of every journalist to support the truth and not to work on behalf of lies.
I want to say that the war in Ukraine is not over. Russia continues to destroy our cities and kill Ukrainians. Journalists are now doing an important job to find the propaganda of Russia and tell the truth. We must continue to do this. Ukraine must win.
To summarize everything that Nick and I said, I just want to add that one of Russia's main goal was to demoralize Ukrainians because hope is the last thing that could be taken away from a human being. I want to confirm that Russia did not succeed in making the Ukrainian nation hopeless. It's in our blood to resist the oppression and fight back for the sake of our liberation and dignity. Thank you guys for your attention, and I'm looking forward to work with you sooner. Glory to Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you, Alika. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mikita. Thank you, Alika. Really, glory to Ukraine. Thank you for your presentation. Dear friends, have you any question to our speakers, please? Who want? Thank you for presenting. Thank you. No. Yeah. Please, Valeria.
Yeah, hi everyone. I have a question to Alika and Nikita. While you were at a different meeting in like in Germany in Berlin, and Nikita was also, and have you faced some Russia or pro-Russian negatively like people? And if yes, how you um, how you come up with the end of this situation and how it ends. Thank you.
Well, in Germany, the situation is kind of tricky because, as you may know, especially Berlin, there used to be the wall, and this wall, was the border between Soviet Union part and the Western part. So some people who are staying in Berlin, they may have like a pro-Russian mindset. Based on my experience during the pro-Ukrainian meetings, I have not faced someone who was against because it was in the meeting. But as a general rule, as I know, if those situations happening, what people should do is to record it on video or to make photos and then post it online. So the people who should take care of it is the government, it's the police. So that's the one who is taking the responsibility, because sometimes, as you may know, when you're on the emotion, it's not always the best decision. So you should always record it and go to police, and they will take care of it. So yeah, it just based my experience, and it's a general rule for safety as well.
Alika, where are you? In Germany?
Yeah, I'm in Germany. I'm in Berlin. So with pro-Russian, it can be a bit tricky here.
Unfortunately, yeah. Thank you, Valeria. Who else? Have you any question, dear friends? Thank you. Thank you. I have a little announcement about our project and about logistical information. Dear friends, first of all, I'd like to demonstrate your screen. Just a minute, please. This one. Oh no. This one. Yeah. Do you see? This is do you see it, dear friends? This is a special document which we created in our folder. This is a document for collaboration about offers, ideas, topics, subtopics, which you can use in your work, in your project. I'd like to demonstrate it to you. This is, as you can see, this is some columns. Student's name in Ukraine, student's name in America, idea and context. And among our students, you can see Nikita Butnik, Alika Aflidiani. For example, what's their idea, LGBT and rights in the USA and Ukraine, problems and solutions. Format, joint presentation and exchange of experience and opinions among students. Just a minute, I'm sorry, my computer. Valeria Filenko. Yeah, dear friends, we have a first group of students who are ready to work together. Valeria Filenko and Jezebel Maldonado. They are interested in sources of news, social networks, media, internet, TV, magazines. Where, when, and how do we receive new information in Ukraine and USA? Valeria, do you hear me? Can you give us the information about your project, and maybe your friend, Jezebel, maybe he is here and she taught us about your project, please.
Yeah, I can start. And I'd like to say a few words about this project, how I see this project. And to begin with, I always enjoy like learning more about different culture, different customs from several countries. And therefore, while I firstly faced with this our project COIL, I immediately thought about the opportunity to bring these intentions to life. And in this way, Jezebel, I hope I pronounce it correctly, Jezebel wrote her name in this document, and we have contact via WhatsApp. And how I see this project is like a comparison to different sources from different media, different internet and messengers, and how people in our age consume different information from where how our parents and how our grandparents even more so like kind of create three different groups, different age groups, and to compare where and how in USA and in Ukraine we consume information from where. I think it could be really nice to build like a double side communication, double side activity, and I think it could be rather interesting, like for both sides, for Ukrainian and for American students. Thank you.
Valeria, what are you going to do? Presentation, video, or maybe it will be text, article? What do you think? Have you any ideas?
I think it could be like and text and video. We can discuss it later with Isabel, but I think it could be. I thought about kind of interview, maybe with her, maybe with her friends, and I think like in video format and plus
Text format.
text, yeah.
Text format, yeah. Barbara, is Jezebel here? Jezebel, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can
No?
hear you all. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello, Jezebel. Thank you very much for your joining, for your working. What can you say us about your project? What do you think? What are you going to do with Valeria? What is your ideas?
So I was really interested in the media, especially like the misinformation, disinformation, especially like from two totally different countries. And it just like caught my attention. We had already discussed it with Professor Barbara, and she gave us like a list of topics, and I already had that one in mind. So when I opened the document, Valeria already had it on there, and I was like, okay, like that makes it so much easier. So I added myself to the document, and we haven't really touched so much base on it, but we will soon. And I really like how she brought up probably like interviewing different people and getting different points of views. But I think it would just be super important to be open-minded to see how like media influences people from different countries in different ways and the way it does.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Jezebel. What can you recommend to other students? What can they do for this project? What do you think? Maybe you can recommend something to them.
I would say like don't be shy to reach out. I'm a very timid person, but then it's like it's pretty cool to meet new people and like talk about like certain things that you guys have in common. So don't be shy to be the first one to reach out type of thing. And for the project, I would say try to work something out that both of you guys know you guys can collaborate together. I would say probably like how Valeria brought up interviewing different people or even doing like a PowerPoint together or anything along the lines of like writing a small article.
Thank you. Thank you. We are looking forward for your project. I hope, I know it will be very interesting. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas, your recommends. I hope it will be really very interesting. Dear friends, I'd like to demonstrate your another groups of students. For example, Bogacheva Daria. She is interested in music of Ukraine and music of America. Or Marina Serbina, Ukrainian and American mentality. Very interesting topic. Yeah, and we have the group of our students: Alina Shenenko, Alla Savchuk, Anastasia Darganova, Luba Karazia. Yeah, and their project, they will explore similarities in differences in the celebration of various holidays in different countries. Very interesting. I think it will be Ukraine and America first of all, but you can do this project. You can do this project together. This is the first opportunity for connection. First of all, yeah, I'd like to stop my presentation. Yeah, this document is open for all of us You can add information, you can write, share, what do you think, what do you want, and of course use all context that you can see in these documents. And another way for connection, for collaboration, is WhatsApp channel. Yeah, we created this WhatsApp channel 5 days ago. All of our Ukrainian students are here, teachers, students, and unfortunately, couldn't add our American friends because some of them don't use WhatsApp apps. But as I can see, I invited them, I invited you, and as I can see, some of them are in this channel now. I'd like to demonstrate it too. Just a minute, please. I'd like to demonstrate it to you. Yeah. Do you see? Yeah, this channel, COIL, this one, and you can see it, and you can use it for your connection, for demonstration, information about this one. Yeah. Please, I'd like to hear you. Maybe Barbara, maybe your students say us something about this collaboration. What do you think? By the way, the main topics are not connect only with war. War is terrible event in the life of people, in life of country. That's why you can walk around a lot of topics. For example, music, mode, cinema, holidays, healthy maybe. What do you think, dear friends? I'd like to hear you. What do you think? Please.
Can I just want to jump in here. I'd like to speak to my students just briefly. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nick and Alika, for your presentation. As to the WhatsApp, for my students, if you shared your phone number with me, please download the app, WhatsApp. It's my understanding that some of you aren't using WhatsApp. Join the club. I'm new to WhatsApp myself. But it's very simple. If you download the app, then Dr. Yüksel can invite you to join the COIL thread on WhatsApp. And I think you'll find it's a great way of sharing your ideas and communicating between yourselves. Second, and we'll talk about this on Wednesday more, but please do visit the document and see these wonderful variety of ideas that the Ukrainian students have offered. And yes, as Jezebel shared with you, don't be afraid and don't be shy. This is a really great opportunity for young people to get together and share ideas and do some research together.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, I'd like to ask our Ukrainian students, what do you think? What will be your work? Daniil, Nastya, Marina, Yulia, Polina, please, what do you think? What can you say to your American colleagues? Who wants? please. Blue Cano.
Hi. I was just gonna say how I think it'd be interesting for us to work with like a different kind of government slash environment that we'll be learning from each other. And like Nick, I'm interested in what Nick is talking about the LGBTQ um issues or topics that go on over there. Because here, I identify as a gay man, and in the USA here, it's there's some conflict here, but I'm also curious as to how it is over there in Ukraine when it comes to these issues.
Yeah, thank you for your opinion. We glad to join you in our project. In this link, when you have our project, you can see my contact or contact Alika. Please send me message for WhatsApp, Telegram, what you use better, and I'm glad to work together. It's really an important thing because now LGBT people in Ukraine fight against Russia, and we have a lot of LGBT refugees in another country. It's really important to understand how work in USA, how it's work in USA in Ukraine, like what we can do for change situation to better. And thank you for your opinion and welcome to join our project.
Yeah. Hi, Blue. I really appreciate that you reached out to us. Would be great if we can work together. So we're really waiting to start our work. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Alika. Dear friends, Alina, Alla, Anastasia, and Luba, do you see that Christina Orozco Lopez and Emilia Cruz are writing to you? As I can see, they want to work with you and around your project about celebrations. What celebrations? What do you mean, Alina, Alla? What celebrations do you mean? Ukrainian, American? Please talk us about your project. How do you see it? Alina, Christina, do you hear me? Emily.
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah. Hello, Christina. Hello, Emily. Christina, what celebration, what holidays do you mean? What are the main holidays in your country?
Well, there's different holidays that we celebrate here. Mostly one coming up would be like Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Halloween coming up this month. Um, I'm not sure what different, like how much does it differ from Ukraine? What type of holidays do you guys have over there? So that would be interesting, and um, finding what was the difference between, and if we have a lot of similar holidays as well.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for your joining, for your support. I hope your project will be very interesting because really we have a lot of holidays in Ukrainian too. Among them, state holidays and religion holidays. And I hope that your project will be very interesting and very creative because the fields are very wide. Yeah. Um, Okay, dear friends, as I can see, dear Barbara, please, Daniel.
Uh, yeah, I'm with Dasha and Polina, and we went to discuss the genres of Ukrainian and American music. For our part, we would like to tell more about Ukrainian music, tell about the performance, so they that are not confused with performance or Russian music. And we hope that our American colleagues will test us about the music of their country, because the genres of music are the same, but everyone has a different approach to music. Friends, write and join our project. Thank you.
Thank you. What style of music do you like? Pop, jazz, rock?
I like hip hop, but girls, I think like other pop and rock maybe. I don't know.
Daniel, where is your colleagues? Where is our girls? Daria, Polina.
Alina and
What do you
Daria,
think?
yes.
Polina doesn't want to speak with us. Okay, music is really a very interesting field, wide, and I hope I have a bad connection. Bad connection. Okay, Marina, please.
I would also like to invite the American students to cooperate with me on a project about Ukrainian and American mentality, about the way we think, the way we behave, the way we see this world. I think it can be interesting because, as we all can see, we're very different, and I think it's interesting to discuss uh, on this topic. So yeah, please contact me if you're interested too.
Thank you very much, Marina. What do you mean mentality? Is your topic is psychological topic?
We are not psychologists, but I think we can discuss it like with examples of ourselves, of our family, our friends. Um, it's not about psychology. It's just a general like overview of our mentality.
Very interesting, very interesting. If you want to walk around this topic, please to contact with Marina. I think this topic will be very interesting for collaboration. Okay, dear friends, as I can see, dear Barbara, as I can see, we have nearly 4 or 5 topics or groups for collaboration, and in 1 month we can see their presentations and results of working. What do you think? Nearly 4, 5, maybe 6. Yeah, dear friends. Okay, if you want to say something, to add something, maybe your attitude, dear professors, Ukrainian professors, I'd like to invite you to our Nesterenko, Natalia Leonidovna, Lena Alexandrovna. Please, maybe you want to add something. Maybe you have some recommendations to our students. Please, the floor is yours. Okay. No one. Yeah, I hope our collaboration will be successful. I hope that 1 month it's enough for such kind of cooperation, and in 1 month we can see. First of all, we are looking forward. Yeah, we are waiting. And in 1 month we can see the results of your collaboration, and I hope it will be really very, very interesting. Okay, please, Mikita.
Yeah, I want to give little information, dear American students. If you can to find contact students who interested in your project or another problems, please send message or Barbara or our professors. It's we understand different platform, different country use apps like Telegram, Snapchat, and we need time to learn how it's worked. But Ukrainian students really want to join together work because it's so important now, because we see how Russian invasion in Ukraine change political situation in the world, and important to work together because you learn us how better understand your country and work with media, and we learn you how better work with Ukrainian topic, have write about war, we can talk will about our traditional culture, because Ukraine is so huge cultural country and we need to exchange experience. It's really important. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Mikita. Yeah, your information is really very important because I'd like to know that our students, our Ukrainian students, use all kind of social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. What else, dear friends? Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, and all the channels for connection, Telegram, WhatsApp, maybe Viber. Besides it, just a minute, Jezebel. Besides it, all of us can see a mail address of each other. Please use your invitation to the sessions, and you can see all the mails of other students. We have a question from Jezebel. A question I have is the grading rubric you professors will provide ahead of time so we can take a look at that while completing our project? Barbara, can you answer to this question?
Yes, I can. That's a great question, Jezebel. Yes, I am working on a rubric. I want to also repeat we've talked in class a little bit about the fact that we're working somewhere between first year and fourth year students. So one thing that you as my students will be just becoming comfortable with is having a little bit more agency, a little more flexibility, and a little more freedom to do the work than what you're used to. I will provide you, for that reason, a rubric and a general, not too detailed, but a general outline for how I want you to move through the work. So yes, I will provide my students with more detail that'll help to guide you through the project.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, of course, we will provide all the time. I don't know, Barbara, maybe such kind of activity is not usual for you, but for our students, such kind of practice of activity are normal because we have a lot of tasks. We give such kind of projects. We say to our students to do research, to do a project, to do text, maybe article, and after that, after some time, 1 week, 1 month, they demonstrate us the result of their project, of their work. That's why we want to invite you and your students to such kind of collaboration, and we hope that it will be useful and interesting for you. Thank you. Okay, dear friends, it's enough for today. If you want to say something each other, please. I hope, first of all, be in safety. Really, the war is terrible. You, American student, don't know about the war, and this is the biggest happiness in your life, because war is terrible. War is a normal event in our life. Please stay in safety, be careful. Please live in peace, and we hope that in 1 month we can see each other and speak and demonstrate our projects And after the end of our project, we continue our collaboration maybe in other fields of activity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.